Hello everyone, welcome back to another Ragnarok video guide. In this video, I'll be showing you guys what is the best pet effect for your character in Ragnarok next generation. As always, if you are new to the channel, go ahead and click the like and subscribe button for more Ragnarok video guides, okay? So, getting right into it, some people doesn't know yet how these pets have different effects. If you already watched my last video about the pet system, I talk about the pets which will give you additional stats, right? Now, I'm gonna give you my opinion or insight about which pet effect is better for your character build, whether tank build, haste build, DPS build, and so on and so forth. So, let's start off with your starter pets or the white pets. So going with the pouring, you can see that the pouring will deal damage to the enemy and will have a chance to stun them. So in my opinion, this is good if your character is dealing DPS and mostly for critical characters like Assassin, Critical Knight, Critical Hunter, and so on, so that you can deal damage to the enemy while they are stunned. Next, we have the Lunatic. The effect of Lunatic is to inflict damage that will have a bleeding effect. Now, the descriptions are not clear whether how many percentage is the bleeding or how much damage does it inflict. But so far, my idea to this, if the enemy have a bleeding effect, the enemy will take damage over time. Okay, so somehow like a poison thing, but this is for bleeding, which can be a true damage or not. Again, it's just my opinion. So the best character to use this pet is either critical build characters, especially Critical Knight, Assassin, Hunter, and especially Critical Mage. Okay, next. Going with the Hornet, the effect of Hornet is that it will deal damage to the enemy equal to a percentage of max HP. Again, it doesn't say which max HP though in the description, which is kind of confusing. However, what I can say is that this is good for tank build characters or if your character has so many HP, like Tank Knight, Tank Blacksmith, and Tank Priest. However, there's a chance that the max HP damage can be your HP aside from your pet or enemy. We don't know yet and it's a bit confusing. Okay. Next, we have the Grasshopper. So the effect of Grasshopper is to confuse the enemy within 3 meters of their master. So based on the description, the Grasshopper can be considered as a decoy to change target. This is good for assassins who have the hiding skill or a character who focuses on skills such as mage or priest to make the opponent distracted. Okay, so after the Grasshopper, we have the Familiar. Now, the Familiar can increase the physical and magic lifesteal of their master, so this pet is great for all characters as long as you have a stat for lifesteal, most especially for haste type characters because of the magic lifesteal. And lastly, for the starter pets, we have the Baby Desert Wolf. The Baby Wolf can reduce the final physical and magic damage reduction of all enemies. This is also good for all characters as long as you have a physical and magic penetration. So, those are the starter pets. Now we are going with the blue pets. Unlike white pets, blue pets don't have any evolution. First, we have the Yoyo. So the Yoyo have the same effect as a pouring that can stun enemies. Again, the best character to use this are DPS build and critical build. Take note to consider as well the stats of each pet, whether they have critical damage or not. Alright, so next we have Giearth. Giearth effect basically is just to speed up your mining. However, if you already build your character to have a lot of damage or your character stat is already high, you can use this pet to get mining materials really fast without buying any advanced pickaxe. Okay, so you can focus on tearing it up or crafting a blue weapon if you want to. Last, we have the Skeleton Worker. So the effect of Skeleton Worker is to ignore resistance and reductions when inflicting enemies with debuffs. So this pet is good with characters that can inflict debuff to the enemy such as Mage, Priest, Assassin with poison, and so on and so forth. Just make sure that you have enough damage that can kill the enemy after you cast the debuff, okay? Next, we will go to the Evolved Pets. The best character for evolved pets is the same as the starter pets like earlier. Now, you can evolve your pets if you have a white pet from Pouring to Baby Desert Wolf. Alright, first we have the Mastering, which is the evolution of Pouring. Now, the effect of Mastering is just saying it will fall from the sky. But supposing it will fall from the sky, it can deal AoE or area of effect damage, as well as stunning the enemy. Again, this is just my insight on whether it's gonna be like that or not. the best character is gonna be the same as DPS and crit for the mastering. Next, we have the Eclipse, the evolution of Lunatic. So basically, Eclipse can summon a group of Lunatics that will help the master. So it's like a summoning technique from the Eclipse. However, we don't know yet the effect of each Lunatic, but let's say it's gonna deal the same effect as your starter pack. It can inflict a lot of damage to the enemy with a bleeding effect. This is also a good combination if you have the Touch of the Sea white set, okay? Next, we have the Mistress, the evolution of Hornet. The Mistress effect is really powerful because it has a chance to directly kill the enemy, which is good for all characters. But if this chance fails, it will deal damage equal to a percentage of max HP. The max HP is unknown yet, whether it's you, the enemy, or the Mistress. By the way, if you guys have a Hornet or Mistress, or you have any info about this, let me know in the comments, okay? Whether it's gonna be the max HP of the character, the enemy, or the Mistress. Alright, we just don't know yet. Next, we have the Rocker, the evolution of Grasshopper. So unlike the Grasshopper that will act as a decoy, the Rocker can silence enemies. This is good if you are facing an enemy that is reliant on skills and haste such as Priest or Mage. Next, we have Drainliar, the evolution of Familiar. So Drainliar can restore your HP once per second. Unlike Familiar, it can deal lifesteal. And last, for the evolutionized pet, we have the Desert Wolf, the evolution of Baby Desert Wolf. So Desert Wolf is only good in PvP, reducing the physical and magic damage within 3 meters of their master. This is good for critical characters and ones with physical or magic penetration, along with inflicting damage such as the Touch of the Sea set. Last and not the least, we have the MVP pet, which is the Phreeoni. So the description of Phreeoni is can devour monsters and be killed directly. If the Phreeoni devour a player, it will deal a large amount of damage and it will spit out after 5 seconds. So meaning that once you're inside the Phreeoni, you're dealing damage for 5 seconds, okay? This is good again for all characters with any build, either tank, crit, DPS, haste, and so on, because you have to rely on your pet for the damage, just like the Mistress. For me, the most OP pet or the most overpowered pet is either the Mistress or Phreeoni because of their damage to the enemy and a one-hit kill to the opponent. Alright, so that's it for my insights on which pet is better for your character. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, leave it down below, and see you guys on another Ragnarok video guide. Thank you guys and goodbye.